start, can you just tell me a little bit kind of about how you got involved in this project, kind of what stood out to you about this character?
Yeah, so I know I read for the role about 15 times. I did a bunch of self-tapes, and then eventually I got a chemistry read with my mom in the movie May, and George, the director, was there, Luc Besson, and yeah, I eventually got the role.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What was that kind of like? Do you remember what was going through your mind at this point? Because you're a younger actor, you're kind of just getting started, and suddenly you get a call saying, "We want you to be in a movie with Luke Evans and Sung Kang, and Luke Besson's involved." Do you remember
Yeah.
what you were thinking?
Yeah, I remember that I was in Taiwan at the time, and me and my family had this whole vacation planned for summer break, and we had this. I know I was gonna go to the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, and I was gonna go to like a bunch of other sleepaway camps. So I'd all have to be canceled to do this movie, but yeah, it's definitely worth it in the end.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. It looks like you're having a blast in the movie, and it's so cool. It's so exciting. There's one part I wanted to ask you about. It kind of happens earlier on in the movie, but this really intense scene with Sung Kang where you kind of realize that he's the actual villain. He has you tied to a chair, and it's just like,
Mm.
oh man, this is real. This is bad. What was it like filming that moment? Do you remember? Was it because it's super intense to watch? Was it as intense to film that scene too?
Yeah, I would say there was while I was tied to the chair, it was definitely intense. I know Luc Besson like just like it came up to me and said like he's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill you. Like he like just like kept repeating that to me to like get it really in my head that he's gonna kill me. So then I just started crying and yeah, it definitely worked. And then like I remember like when Sung kicks me down and I was like, Mom, no. And as soon as he said cut, I just started bursting out laughing. I totally remember that.
Really? That's
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. So one thing I love about this movie is there's a lot of really intense scenes like that, like we talked about, and there's a bunch of action scenes. But then sometimes you kind of get to be the character who has like the comedy to him. I love the
Mhm.
moments when it's you and Luke Evans and the actress playing your mom, and they're reconnecting, and you're just kind of in the middle of it, like, "Oh, how do you guys know each other? What's going on here?"
Yeah.
That was really funny. Was that like fun to be able to bring in some comedy to an intense movie like this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the movie has a good mix of action and a lot of jokes as well. So I think that that's what's really special about this movie. Yeah.
Sure, sure. No, definitely. I think that totally pays off and it totally works. I wanted to ask you what it was kind of like just to film your scenes with your mom too, because there's a lot of moments with the two of you in there and she's really good and you guys bounce off each other really good. What was it like working with her?
Oh yeah, May is an amazing person. I know like every time I came to set, she would just give me gifts of like mugs and like different cakes. Yeah, she's really nice. And I think like on set it came really natural for both of us. Yeah.
Sure. Yep, you can definitely tell. I was gonna ask you the same thing about Luke Evans too, because he's kind of not the character you expect him to be, but then he
Mhm.
has some range and depth to him. What was it like working with him?
Oh, he's an amazing guy. I know that like me and my family, he's a great singer by the way. He's like an angelic voice. So I know that me and my family would go like karaokeing with him and like probably like I think we went like 5 times, which was really fun. Yeah.
No way. Do
Yeah.
you have a go-to song?
Oh, go-to song. I think it's not karaoke without Sweet Carolina.
There you
It's
go.
yeah.